Hey everybody, Timothy here with Mana Rock. So, just a heads up, I've been doing a lot of these Dominaria drafts back to back, kind of all on the same day, because I am kind of trying to figure a bunch of things out in the real world, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to necessarily sit down and draft a bunch. So, I figured pump out a bunch of videos and release them over time or release them all at once. So, in case I start repeating a lot of things that I've said in my other videos, it's because I am kind of making the same claims all on the same day. But anyway, we opened Mox Amber again, which is 3 or 4 tickets, something along those lines, but not really playable and not what we're going to take here. I'm personally looking at Valduk or Vicious Offering. Triumph of Gerard is a card that I like more than a lot of other people, but I don't like being in aggressive white decks. And I think Pegasus Courser is a little more consistent. Valduk is also the type of card that you can pick up pretty early and draft around it a little bit, but Vicious Offering is the best card in the pack, so we're going to start off with that. And could avoid being black-blue control again because I see a Divination, but thankfully for us there's a Saproling Migration, which goes great with our first pick and is just a fantastic card in general. Warcry Phoenix is a card that looks good. Just on paper it reads like it's pretty decent, but it actually just plays out very poorly in this format most of the time. Another Pegasus Courser is nice, and then there's the blue and black cards here, like this little L block here. I guess if you can add Opt in there. Plus Memorial. This pack has like quality playables, so hopefully we get something back, but almost took the Pegasus Courser. I'm going to snap off Saproling Migration. Hopefully that's open. I love being in those colors. Ooh. And it looks like we get options here, because Gilded Lotus can help splash, help ramp to some really big things. There's also Elfame Druid, which is nice with both of our first picks. There's also Thallid Omnivore, which is just fantastic if we end up in Saprolings. And there's Thorn Elemental, which is a good finisher. So these 3 cards plus the Thallid Omnivore are all considerations here. Gilded Lotus I like in control decks with lots of draw spells, but if you end up like green-black, you don't need it as much. So I think I'm going to rule that out. I think I'm also going to rule out Thorn Elemental, because you can usually just get a good finisher in these decks. I'm between Omnivore and Druid. Druid is very nice with Saproling Migration. Omnivore, if nobody else is in Saprolings, a lot of times you can get this card late, but I think I am going to take the Druid here and look to pick up some more kicker cards, but not 100% clear on that pick, and of course we get past this pack afterwards, which has just Stone Cold Nothing, a Stronghold Confessor, or a Joustin' Lance, probably just the Lance. Nothing worth even shifting into another color for, and the 3 black cards aren't spectacular by any means, so pretty easy passing up on those. Not really like we're seeing that something's open here. Probably just going to take Academy Drake as the best card in the pack here. And I guess Gideon's Reproach is pretty similar, but we don't have to force our colors, right? These packs are jumping around a lot. Dark Bargain and Windgrace Acolyte is what I'm looking at now. I think I'm going to pick up the first Dark Bargain here. I'm sure I've mentioned it before. I'm not actually a huge fan of Windgrace Acolyte. I just hate the 2 toughness creature dies to a lot of the common removal spells, and for a 5-drop I'm not big on that, even though it does give you a little bit of value here, but we shall see. Doesn't look like we're getting too much else as far as green goes. It was just that 3rd pack was loaded with green cards, but we'll see. We'll see. We can shift between like blue-green or black-blue or green-black if that ends up actually being open, so we have options here. Plus, Elfame Druid does work with 2 of our cards here. So we'll have to kind of see what we can fall into. Guess we could fall into a Daring Archaeologist, which isn't a particularly good card. I'm going to take Voldalian Arcanist here over, say, Feral Abomination. In the off chance that I end up a more controlling deck, I'll be happy to have that. Alright, so here's some options. Deathbloom Thallid and Urgoros. Those are the 2 I'm considering. Probably going to pick up Urgoros. I do really like the Thallid, but Urgoros is a nice card to ramp into if you can do so. It's fine whether you end up blue-black or green-black. So I'm pretty happy picking that up, although I'd be happy with the Thallid too, especially if we do end up in a Saproling-based deck. Along those lines, I'm going to pick up the Fungal Plots here. Kind of interested in that wield. Gift of Growth would be the next card for us there, but I do like Fungal Plots. It's just generically fine and really, really good when you actually end up in Saprolings. Not that I think that's going to happen. I only have these 2 cards that care about Saprolings right now. So, looks like we're probably something along these lines. Let's see if we wheel anything out of that 2nd pack. Well, these are all cards we could play, minus Slim Vote. I think we're off the blue here. So, do I want the first Memorial, a Stronghold Confessor, or another Dark Bargain? I think this is going to be a Memorial here. I don't even hate Adventurous Impulse, but I like Dark Bargain as a one-of. I'm not big on taking multiples. Stronghold Confessor is very replaceable. Anytime you get to add these lands to your deck for basically free, you're doing quite a bit. All except the red one, of course. The white one's kind of marginal, but it gets the job done in the white decks, so... I think the blue, the black, and the green ones are all very good. Wow, Thallid Omnivore came back? That is pretty crazy. I think people underrate this card, but still, it shouldn't be wheeling. Does mean that just people aren't playing black, I suppose. Pack 2, I just want a Slimefoot, really. That's all I want. If I could get a Slimefoot, I'll be happy. I won't complain. Right now we have 3 Saproling cards. And the cool thing about black-green is you don't necessarily have to go all in on the Saprolings. You can just have a good number of cards that deal with them, and they'll be fine. Divest or Stronghold Confessor? I actually like Divest. I've been pretty happy with that card, especially against slower decks. Stronghold Confessor is always just fine, but not particularly great. Divest has just kind of grown on me as the format has gone on. I would even probably main deck it if I was shy on playables. It's just the card quality is pretty high in this set that if you can snipe your opponent's big flyer or their legendary creature, you often get them. And I'm pretty happy playing it. Plus, sometimes you get to snap an artifact out. Huh. Okay, so coming out of the next pack, nothing that really fits on theme here. We could take Dreadshade, which I think is a fine card, even though it's not fantastic. We could take the Candle, which I do think is just a solid playable. Not bad, not great. Or we could take Merfolk Trickster if we feel like blue is going to be where we end up over green. Of all those options, I like Dreadshade the most. There's also like Syncopate Courser. It could have a very aggressive white deck going on. That's the second Valdic we've seen and the third Warcry Phoenix as well. But I think I am going to hedge on the Dreadshade here. This is probably one of the worst when it comes to the triple color rares. But it does look like we're majority black here. We have 3 green cards. Black seemed pretty open in pack 1, which means it's probably going to get cut a good bit in pack 2. Might just end up wanting that Candle. Wow, another Dreadshade does kind of make a statement, but why take Dreadshade when you can take Song of Freyalise? This card is absurd, absurd, absurd. Of course, if that wasn't there, I would even consider Grun here. But Song of Freyalise is just ridiculous, and once we have this, we can splash a little bit, plus we can prioritize anything that makes multiple creatures. So we are looking for more Saproling cards here. Ooh, another Trickster, huh? Like, Sapherd is exactly what we're looking for. We're going to pick that up. Could have a solid blue deck here. Tricksters are good, especially in multiples, but that's an easy Sapherd. Thallid, Sapherd, Fungal Infection's good too. Another Triumph, Gaia's Protector, so... Pack is loaded for white. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to get Sapherd back, but there's a very, very small chance I get Fungal Infection back. Probably not, but I think this is an easy Thallid. It's actually closer than it looks. Having that other Saproling thing would be pretty good. Ancient Animus is weak, I think, but it might be the pick over like a random 3-drop or this 6-drop, so I am going to pick it up. Not be super happy about that one. Ooh, Grow from the Ashes is one I like, though. Better than Demonic Vigor. Again, we have the tools to potentially splash here between Song of Freyalise and a Grow from the Ashes. Academy Drake is a splashable card. The second Fungal Plots I don't care as much about, because if you have 2 of them on board, they don't do anything. So I'm between either this Feral Abomination or Navigator's Compass in case I do end up splashing. I have a third way, but I think I'm going to just pick up Feral Abomination here. Card is playable. Ooh, Llanowar Elves. I think I mentioned in a previous video that I think Llanowar Elves is a tiny bit overrated, but it's good when you have things like Vicious Offering, Fungal Plots, Song of Freyalise, obviously, so easy Llanowar Elves, especially that late in the pack. And here, again, I have the option of picking the Compass, or I could just pick another 6-drop. Looks like we're going to be fine on playables. Actually, I'm going to just snipe up that Compass in case I do want to play the third card. Academy Drake is fine as a splash. Not amazing, but fine. These green decks often splash other colors anyway, but Now I could pick up something like a Time of Ice and be pretty happy playing it, or a Tatiova would be nice. Rona would be a possible playable. So we ended up picking up a triple black card and then a ton of green in that pack. Not what I expected. But anytime I get to play with Song of Freyalise, I'm pretty happy. And what do we have as far as the Saproling theme goes? We picked up a decent amount. We have 5 cards now, which seems pretty good. We have the Ward, plus a Thallid Omnivore, plus a Fungal Plots. Alright, here I'm probably going to pick up Primordial Worm, which I do think is better than Feral Abomination. So I don't mind making that switch there. Not quite the finisher you want, but it'll get the job done. It's worse than Grun, but it's playable on its own, especially if you can ramp into it. We have 2 Elves plus Song of Freyalise, so we can do some ramping, plus Grow from the Ashes as well. Grow from the Ashes helps with Dreadshade too, which I'm still probably considering this Dreadshade, to be honest. Maybe I shouldn't, but I am. Wouldn't mind a Soul Salvage. The second Dark Bargain, like I said, I'm not as interested in, but we'll consider it over the other 2 cards here. Don't really want the second Worm, I know that much. I'm probably playing this Academy Drake. It looks kind of odd sitting there, but I think it's fine. Guy's Protector is in fact a playable. Power Stone Shard. I've played Power Stone Shard a single time, but I had a really busted blue-green deck with like Slinvoda and Grun and all this stuff. I got to kick a Grun on turn 5, which was insane. Llanowar Elves, turn 4, Gilded Lotus, turn 5, kicked Grun. That deck was fantastic, but that's the only time I played Power Stone Shard, and I think I boarded him out in most games. Not really effective for limited. I can see it if you have a lot of 5 and 6 drops playing one of them, but you often don't want multiples since you're not going to draw them in multiples very often. And honestly, they just take up so much deck space to put multiples in that you're just losing out on being able to play other cards here. I think I'll still consider this Feral Abomination for now. This I don't care about, and we have the Compass to kind of think about. Like, if I open a Cloud Reader Sphinx or something and that's the best card in the pack, I can pretty comfortably play it, I think. I like where we're at. We have a whole 3rd pack to go, too, so we can mix and match a little bit as long as our colors are open. I imagine black is going to be pretty open in pack 3, considering what we saw in pack 1. Zalfrid Void, I'm less excited about. And an Islin. Alright, pack 3, hook me up. What you got for us? More removal couldn't hurt either. I have Ancient Animus plus Vicious Offering, which isn't really a lot, but we could hopefully pick up maybe some blue removal. Come on, pack 3. I've played Dreadshade before. It's a scary card, but I'm definitely not getting it on turn 3 very often since my deck is going to be skewed towards green here with the 2 Mana Dorks and the Song of Freyalise. I mean, if I pick up nothing but like Sap Herd type cards or Spore Swarms or Saproling Migrations, I'm pretty happy with how this last pack goes. Obviously, Slimefoot is really high up there. Tatiova is really high up there. Rona is a less up there, but still probably good enough to take out of a worse pack. Another Song of Freyalise would be nice. Naban, I care less about. Oh, that is a second Song of Freyalise. Jeez. And a 3rd Fungal Plots. Unfortunately, there's really not anything else in this pack that I care about, so I'm just going to pick the song, be happy with it, and probably not wheel anything. Maybe Grow from the Ashes. Doesn't look like people are taking the Fungal Plots, but Song of Freyalise is a rare quality card, and having 2 of them makes my plan a little more consistent. I do need the creatures to back it up, though. Joustin' Lance might be a little weak, too, but it's pretty good in these Saproling decks. I never really noticed the little tiny Saprolings here. Oh, they're so cute. Look at them. They remind me of the little fungus guys from Dark Souls. They're like really dirty looking fungi. You just kind of beat them and they ragdoll around, but it's kind of sad actually. There are some cards I would like to replace here. Like these 2 I'm not too excited about. The second Dark Bargain I'm kind of iffy on. The rest of the deck I'm pretty okay with. Ooh, Spore Swarm is perfect. Whisper would be great. There's also Saproling Migration and Gorger. I don't actually know whether Spore Swarm or Saproling Migration is better here. It feels like with Song of Freyalise, I probably want Saproling Migration, but Spore Swarm is generally just... I don't even know which one's better. Being able to kick this seems pretty doable with this into double Song of Freyalise. One benefit of Spore Swarm with Song of Freyalise is that if you draw this on the turn that your Song of Freyalise is going off, you can cast it at instant speed. I know it's not the Gorger, and it's probably not Whisper here, even though hopefully I'll wheel one of these 3 cards. What would you guys pick here? Saproling Migration or Spore Swarm? Geez, this is close. Either way, I'm getting something fantastic out of this pack. I think I'm going to pick the Spore Swarm. It's just more consistently going to be more bodies. Whisper, another Llanowar Elves. Mirari Conjecture does not seem like something that I'm splashing for. But Whisper actually seems good. Whisper seems rock solid here over the second Llanowar Elves. I don't want to bog my deck down with just Elves here either. So I'm pretty happy taking Whisper. And it looks like our colors are super open here, which is fantastic. Might not even have to play Academy Drake if we get enough playables out of this pack. Whoa, Wild Onslaught, and a Vicious Offering, and a Skittering Surveyor? Oh man, this is tough. Wild Onslaught is a huge payoff for being in this deck. When I already have 2 Song of Freyalises, I'm not sure how necessary it is. Vicious Offering is obviously fantastic, and I think Skittering Surveyor is the least likely option here, even though it's also fantastic. So do I need more removal, or do I need another way to pump a mass team here? And I think I'm going to take Wild Onslaught. That might just be wrong, though. Vicious Offering is fantastic at just getting your creatures through. My colors are just insanely open. Again, what would you guys pick? The removal spell when I'm really light on removal, or I'm going to pick the Onslaught. Gaia's Blessing. Skin Witch is nice. There is that Cloud Raider Sphinx we were talking about, and also a Blood Towel Candle, plus Tetsuko. Tetsuko does not seem miserable here with the Saproling plan, but Skin Witch is fine. I'm actually fairly happy just picking up Skin Witch here. Yeah. Also, Tetsuko gets a little worse once you pump your creatures. Alright, we have another Urgoros. The second one's not as great, but I could just take it and replace Primordial Worm. Could also do Partick Wanderer, or Adventurous Impulse. The problem with Adventurous Impulse is some of our creatures are in the form of instants and sorceries. So I do think I'm just going to pick up Urgoros here. Cut the Primordial Worm. Pick up another Ancient Animus, I suppose. Ancient Animus is good the turn you go off with your Song of Freyalises because your creatures are indestructible. Primordial Worm's probably better than Partick Wanderer, but I'm actually going to take Broken Bond for the sideboard here. Fungal Plots came back. Guess a second Fungal Plots probably won't make the cut, but it's playable. I definitely don't want a third Dark Bargain, so I'm going to take Guardians. And then follow that up with... I don't think I need another finisher here. Nature's Spiral can get back basically most of our deck, which seems decent. Guess I'm just going to take the 3-2. Llanowar Scout doesn't seem bad here either. Alright, so second Fungal Plots can come out. Sure, I'll pick up Tragic Poet. Alright, so there was just an embarrassment of riches in these packs, and Gift of Growth as a last pick. Jeez, I'm going to take Divest out because I am looking for cuts. Huh. We've also got a fairly low curve deck, too, for what it's worth. So this is the curve, keeping in mind that we're skipping 5 and going to 6 here. Dreadshade doesn't seem like it fits here, but with double Song of Freyalise, it's not inconceivable that you can just play this, and then you can even dump a bunch of creatures that are tapping for mana into it. So minus Memorial, I want to cut 2 more cards from my deck. We'll just give a sweep over and pull aside anything that I feel like isn't going to be that great. Ancient Animus number 2. Vicious Offering versus Wild Onslaught's a tough one. Dreadshade, Llanowar Envoy is just going to be fine, I think. Dark Bargain is a nice little combo with Whisper as well. Yeah, I think it's going to be some combination of these. I don't think Gift of Growth is great, and Ancient Animus is generally not good in these sorts of decks, just because our creatures are tiny. So we will go ahead and play what we've got here. Do I want maybe another Game Ender over, say, a little 2-drop here? I probably do, right? I don't love Llanowar Scout, and I actually don't mind playing, like, a Primordial Worm here. Especially having the ways to ramp into it. I'm fine having these big creatures here. Academy Drake is also a possibility. Or Feral Abomination too, but I do think that's worse than the Worm, like I said. Could also just play another Dark Bargain. But I think we've got options here. Broken Bond. We have some nice sideboard going on too. I guess I should color sort first. I think we're actually going to be majority green. So it's going to be like 9 and 7 with the Memorial, which puts us in an awkward spot with the Dreadshade. But again, we have 3 ways to make that Dreadshade work out, and this does not have to be played on turn 3 for it to be a fine card to threaten the opponent. So I think I'm fine with it. I'm missing a Slimefoot here. I would have liked a couple more Saproling cards, but I think we got there on the deck that we wanted. We have double Song of Freyalise and Wild Onslaught as payoffs, and then we also have the Saproling ward, which could be very good too. So pretty happy with it overall. Hopefully it does pretty well for us, and I hope you enjoyed the draft. There were actually a couple tough decisions that I'd like to hear from people about, whether you would take Spore Swarm or Saproling Migration in that situation, whether you would take Vicious Offering or Wild Onslaught. Those were both very tough. But anyway, we ended up with Black-Green Saprolings. Hopefully it does well for us. My name's Timothy with Mana Rocks, and I'll see you in match 1. All right, we are here with match number 1. We've got a green-black Saproling deck going on against Apologize. We are on the draw, the opponent Mold, and Scry to the bottom, and starting up against a blue deck, which the green decks are generally good against. Doesn't look like I'm playing anything on turn 1, but I do have the Druid on turn 2, which is nice. Elvish Mystic obviously would have been a fantastic draw there, but Druid on turn 2 is good. Alright, blue-white, probably Flyers, Relic Runners. Don't feel like I need to Vicious Offering that right away, so question is, do we go Thallid or do we go Druid? And it's probably just Druid. Get that Omnivore down, right? Next turn, could even go like Thallid into Vicious Offering, but we'll see. I think I want to go Omnivore, and then the turn after, we'll see what happens. Alright, so Joustin Lance makes this unblockable. That's fine. Uh-oh, opponent might be missing a 3rd land, though, based on them doing that pre-combat. Nope, they've got it. They've got the land. Ooh, so that's pretty good. Now I can go Llanowar Elves into Yavimaya Sapherd. Nope, let's do this correctly. And then next turn I have like Thallid plus Vicious Offering. Just have a million mana next turn. If they just equip Joustin Lance, that's not going to cut it here. Plus they have to play something to make this unblockable. That's not true. This gives first strike. They don't have to do that. Oh, they're just equipping and attacking? They're going to take a lot back. They don't know that yet. Alright. Let's see. Drawing lands would be good. I guess I'd still have Vicious Offering to just deal with this too. But I'd like to hold on to it. So here I have 6 mana available. I can go Thallid plus Omnivore, which is just kind of ridiculous. We're going to play this first. Go ahead and jam with the 5 damage here. And play Thallid Omnivore. Seems like a great start for turn 4. I have 12 power on board. Opponent is going to be able to cast some 5-drops now. What you got there? Cloud Reader Sphinx. So that's very likely just getting eaten by Vicious Offering here. Which, good question is, what do I sacrifice to it? Relic Runner does not play defense as well as it plays offense. First strike only on their turn. They kept both cards on top, though. I assume this still attacks? No? Alright, so the question is, if I attack with Omnivore, do they have to just block it? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. No, they're not at that point. Could just play Envoy. 1, 2, 3. I think I just want a Vicious Offering Cloud Reader Sphinx. Attack. They get a good block, but this has to block like here. And they take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Actually, alternatively, I could use Vicious Offering as a -2/-2 mid-combat so that I don't have to sack a creature. But I think I'm fine sacrificing like Land of War Elves here. Could also play Jousting Lance and equip. That would cost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't really want to make this trade, though. So I think what's going to happen here is I'm going to go ahead and Vicious Offering off Cloud Reader Sphinx, sack in Land of War Elves. Give this -5. Go ahead and sacrifice the elf. I just value the 2 mana off this a little bit more. And then I'll go ahead and attack with everything that's not Spore Crown Thallid. Boom, boom, boom. 4. Actually, if I attack with everything, and they block here, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then I have 4 mana. 10, 11. No, because just sacking those doesn't matter. Yeah, let's go ahead and just attack with these. If they block Omnivore, I'm probably going to eat a Saproling to just save it. Seems valuable on board. Alright. They do take 2 less damage. I guess I can sack the Elfhame Druid. I've got plenty to do with my mana here. I guess I have 6 drops too, so I might not want to do that as much. Although sacking a Saproling seems bad, so let's go... No, I'm going to sack a Saproling here, I think. Maybe not. Alright, this deals 5 to him, puts him at 10, eats their creature. I get to play another creature on board. Sacking the elves is a little risky, though. I will admit that. But now I have a pretty big force. They're going to have to play multiple creatures, and I think they're kind of forced to block Omnivore every turn as well. Okay, Voltaic Servant is fine. And Pegasus Courser. Alright, so they don't even have good block, necessarily. 1 white. Oh, they're empty-handed as well. So yeah, now we go Jousting Lance. Jousting Lance can get equipped up to the Spore Crown Thallid, so they don't even have the option to double block. I think they just have to single block everything anyway. And then we just jam. They don't have any good blocks, to be honest. And they're going down to 2. Plus I just get to eat their creatures. And now they're pretty dead. Unless that one card is doing quite a bit there. So against like a blue-white, I don't want to say tempo deck, more of like a little bit of an aggro deck, but it is basically flyers, right? Broken Bond, I saw 2 possible targets for that between Voltaic Servant and, what's it called? The Jousting Lance, so that might be pretty decent here. Voltaic Servant always leads me to believe that my opponent has Traxos in their deck too, so I'm gonna next level my opponent here and bring in the Broken Bond. What am I bringing out? I guess these cards aren't as good against an opponent that has a ton of flyers, like Urkros I could see cutting here. Or one Urgoros, I suppose. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make that cut. The Broken Bond has targets, and like I said, Voltaic Servant is usually not that good of a card. It usually means your opponent's comboing with something like Icy Manipulator or Broken Bond. So it's very likely I have additional targets that I don't even know about yet. And bringing this in now can do quite a bit of work against the opponent. They might not be expecting it. Ancient Animus doesn't seem great here. Doesn't seem bad either, to be honest. Their creatures are fairly small. Pegasus Courser and Voltaic Servant. These are like 1/3, so I could see bringing in Ancient Animus. But having one in the main board already, I'm not too worried about it. Alright, let's see what we've got. So, yeah, this is fairly keepable. We have the Song of Freyalise, but not really a lot of creatures. And the opponent's going down to 6 again. Going down to 5. And keeping. And putting on the bottom, so Mold of 5 with a Memorial of Genius again. We're going to lead off with a Memorial of our own. Probably just play Skin Witch next turn. Song of Freyalise not seeming exceptional. Skin Witch into Song of Freyalise into Whisper, I guess. Let's see what they do with their Scry. Zalfrin Void is just such an awkward card. They Scry to the bottom. Okay. No Relic Runner either. So let's go... Yeah, Skin Witch is fantastic against them when they're Mulligan, but I don't think there's any way I'm going to get to 6 here, so I'm just going to play this out. See if they have like a Syncopate or something. Which they probably wouldn't even use Syncopate on a 1/3 here. Playing an Easter Glider. So yeah, they're all in on flyers. Alright, now I can actually even Ancient Animus this thing. That seems pretty good. Again, do I want a Song of Freyalise here? Or I just want to attack for 1? I'll wait a turn on Song of Freyalise. Go ahead and make my attack here. Song of Freyalise Ancient Animus does get better if I play it on Whisper. Next turn, can I do that? If I play Song of Freyalise now, untap, play 4, 5, 6, no, I don't have enough. So let's assume I don't need to play Ancient Animus this turn. I can afford to just play Fungal Plots at least. Fungal Plots doesn't really do anything, so not really using my mana, but I might just Ancient Animus this thing. I'm just going to take 2 off of it now, though, in case a big creature comes up. I'm not in a rush to kill off this Ether Glider. Opponent's hitting their strides. Ooh, we have a Call to Cavalry. That's going to put a halt on things. I will go ahead and take this out now. Pretty solid play from the opponent. I just need to draw some more creatures here. That's a good one. So now I go Whisper. And then next turn we play Urgoros. Not that Whisper's great here or anything. My opponent's draw has been pretty good. Call the Cavalry is fantastic against us, I think. They can attack with both pretty freely here. And there's no way I'm blocking with Whisper. I can't actually play Urgoros next turn. But I can go Song, Fungal Plots, and set up our Urgoros the turn after. And my opponent does have to come up with a plan now. They didn't play anything on 5 mana. Leads me to believe that they just have lands in hand, I suppose. Alright, let's go ahead and make the block again. This was not a hand that lends itself to Song of Freyalise very much, but yeah, just drawing more lands is not great. I'm gonna go ahead and just cast Urgoros here. And it is possible if they kill Urgoros that I just sack my 2 creatures to get it back. Could even block with Urgoros for that same reason. And then I have fungal plots to take advantage of the 2 creatures in the graveyard. Ooh, is this going to be a blink of it? No, what is this? 6 mana. Oh, they sacked Memorial. Sure. Sure, that makes perfect sense. So now they're up to 5 cards. They've drawn out of their mulligan. They're probably pretty far ahead if they get rid of Urgoros here, I think. We'll see what happens, though. They are down a mana source as well. Assuming they don't just play a land and some other stuff here. Now they attack, that puts me in an interesting spot whether or not I'm okay blocking. Alright, Voltaic Servant is not going to cut it here. And no block, so doesn't seem like they drew too much worth it there. Okay, Vicious Offering's a good draw. We do get to bash here too. Urgoros gonna start getting them. They do have mana for possibly like Blink of an Eye or something like that here. I do think I'm gonna play my Forest out. I just have lots to do with mana. Alright, Merfolk Trickster's a nice one. It's gonna tap down Urgoros for a turn. Sure. No reason I can't just attack with both of my creatures because of Indestructible and Vigilance. Well, that Song of Freyalise wasn't amazing there, but at the same time it did get a +1/+1 counter on all my creatures, which means I can at least block all of their things here. My opponent is only on 3 cards as well. Urgoros is the threat at the moment. Vicious Offering's nice backup here, though. Plus I have Memorial to Folly and Whisper to kind of keep things moving along. If they go to equip that, I'm probably going to Vicious Offer and whatever they equip it on in response. Yeah, let's just kill this thing. Makes them waste all that mana. Pretty happy with it. Alright, creatures. Creatures are nice. Another Song of Freyalise would be just fine as well. Hut. Ooh, that's a good one. That just means I can at least block everything. Plus I have Fungal Plots, so I think what I can afford to do here is attack with Urgoros first, get the card out of their hand. I don't draw a card unless they're empty-handed, but that's fine. Plus this is going to clock them. If I can get 1 more extra damage in, they're dead in 2 turns. Alright, so we got rid of Weight of Memory. I agree that's probably not going to cut it here. And I am going to kick this bad boy. Alright, now deal with that. Now anything that they kill that isn't Whisper gets brought back. Alright, if this is just an equip, ooh, the Antiquities War? So they get to look at the top 5, put an artifact in their hand. 2 turns from now, all of their artifacts become 5/5s. They only have 2 on board. Let's see if they even get anything. That's the problem with the Antiquities War, is you have to play a lot of artifacts for that card to be good. It looks like they bricked, which is my experience with that card. This is probably only the 2nd time someone's played this against me, and it just doesn't cut it. If Jousting Lance becomes a creature, can you equip it to itself? That's the question that needs to be answered here. I'm just not even worried about a bunch of 5/5s. They only have 2. Oh, wow. Can I cast that? 1, 2... Nope, I'm 1 mana off. What if I attack with everything here? And just cast it for 1. Am I dead on the swing back? Not even close. They block 1, 2, 3. They take 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That just kills them if they have nothing. I can't get syncopated here, so I'm just going to go for it. The fact that they can't kill me on the swing back and at least they lose all their creatures, like, not all of them, but majority of them, it should do the trick. I can't imagine anything that gets them out of this situation here. Healing Grace, maybe? Like, here, what if this goes wrong, I still just eat their creatures. I want to get rid of Trickster. No, actually, I want to get rid of the Knight. It's just an upgraded Trickster at the moment. So, say sure, cast this, and that should kill them. Yep. Good game. Huh. Maybe a little bit of a janky deck from the opponent, but I didn't see too much out of it, and they mulled both games. But our deck kind of ticked there. I like it. Let's see if we can do it again. See you on match 2. All right, y'all. We're here for match number 2. Not an exciting hand. We are on the play. I think I'm going to keep. It does have, like, Spore Swarm into Wild Onslaught, which is something, and we're not very likely to be against an aggressive deck. Spore Swarm is decent against aggressive decks, too, but we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. I'm not super stoked about this hand. We do have a large number of 2-drops that we can draw to make this very good hand, though. Drawing more lands is how we lose this game to a turn 1 Llanowar Elf, though. So I do not have high hopes at the moment if Spore Swarm ends up being our first play of the game. Especially if they're using all their mana. Alright, well, Drudge Sentinel I don't care too much about. Good question. Do I use Vicious Offering on Llanowar Elves now? Probably not. Probably not. I might have to save it for a bigger creature. We'll see. Vicious Offering's pretty good on Drudge Sentinel. Spore Swarm, not as good. Alright, are you attacking with Llanowar Elves this turn? Alright, so that means they just don't have a 3-drop they want to play. I guess we go and Vicious Offering this thing now. Yeah, let's do it. Just mitigate the amount of damage we're taking. They're going to cast a 3-drop. That's fine. They want to use a pump spell, that's okay. Oh, if they want to use 3 mana to make this indestructible, that would be amazing. Would not work, by the way. I feel like my deck is pretty good against Drudge Sentinels. Ooh, they didn't do anything with 3 mana. Huh. Alright, well, we're just going to pass again, and hopefully they make the same attack. We can Spore Swarm them. If not, I might just Dark Bargain here. Nah, it's probably right to Spore Swarm. Alright, I'm expecting a 5-drop. Oh, let's see if we can get them. Spore Swarm. Just going to block with 1. Run into like a Fungal Infection or something like that here. Fungal Infection on a Saproling on a third of a Spore Swarm is not as crazy. And if I get to eat this Llanowar Elves, that's pretty dope. Alright, what you got, opponent? Arbor Armament. +1 counter and reach. I'm fine with that. Opponent's playing some obscure cards here. They did eat 2/3 of my Spore Swarm. Alright, now it's Dark Bargain time. Do I have 1-drops in my deck that I want to cast? I do have a Llanowar Elf, so let me just do this now. Just show my opponent I don't really have tricks. Oh, geez, this is this is bad. I'm going to put this in my hand, put the rest in the graveyard. Oh, I guess I get to take 2, right? Not the elf I was really hoping for. Although the elf next turn does mean I can cast Wild Onslaught the turn after. Alright. Where the opponent plays something big. Based on what I've seen, I'm expecting a Feral Abomination out of this opponent. But we'll see. They are going to outpace us here. Mammoth Spider. Mammoth Spider's doable, and Yavimaya Sapherd was a pretty good draw there, too. Just means I can do 2 things this turn. And Wild Onslaught should be pretty good next turn. So this turn I'm just going to take the 5 coming at me, assuming these attack. I don't know if they even attack with Llanowar Elves into a 2/2. And then Wild Onslaught should turn this around for me a little bit. We'll lose some creatures in the process, but they're down to 3 cards, and barring some big flyer like Urgaros, we should be in good shape. Yeah, I do have to... This does have to survive for me to cast Wild Onslaught Kicked next turn. Costs 8 mana. Card is very good. Very, very good. Interesting how Ixalan had the 6 mana sorcery, put 2+1/+1 counters on each of your creatures, and it's just way worse than this. The fact that this is modal and instant speed is fantastic. Like, you don't have to get up to 6 for this to be decent. It's pretty good on 4. And then when you do get up to 6, or I'm sorry, when you do get up to 8, it's just fantastic. You often get a blowout with it because of the instant speed. But we'll see what the opponent does here. Another big creature could be annoying. Feral Abomination would be especially annoying because I'm going to have to double block it anyway to kill it. So I'm hoping just maybe like another Mammoth Spider size creature if they're going to play something big. But based on what I've seen, I think I can beat an opponent with these cards in their deck. Also, I can play around Arbor Armament a little bit more now that I know about it. Drudge Sentinel is, again, just a card that my deck should be pretty good against. Just, I guess that's an ability, but I've never seen this card really do much of anything, to be honest. But there are times where it's annoying, like one of those old-fashioned regenerators. Oh yeah, the elf coming in is just a clear sign that something's going on here. They might have a Wild Onslaught of their own, to be honest. I'm just going to take this hit, though. I want to get maximum value out of my Onslaught. And see what they play main phase 2. Again, hopefully not just a huge creature. Davy Shindig. Alright, Baloth Gorger is fine. It's a respectably sized creature there. Oh, Thallid Omnivore? Still think I go for the Wild Onslaught this turn and then maybe Thallid Omnivore the turn after. Can't play both by any stretch. Also don't really want to expose Omnivore to like eviscerate when I have another plan there. So we're just gonna pass here and do some blocks. Hopefully take out a couple creatures here. Hopefully not running into some ridiculous combat trick, but we'll see. That Llanowar Elves coming in is really just getting me there. So let's assume they have Wild Onslaught. I go, just hypothetically, block here. This would be 5 power total. So maybe I go Saproling here. That would make this 6 power in case they have one. And then here and here, this would be 5 power in case they have it. And if they have a Wild Onslaught and I have a kicked Wild Onslaught, this means they would trade Mammoth Spider for 1 Saproling. They would trade Baloth Gorger for either one of these. And they would lose Llanowar Elf. So I think I'm going to lock it in like this. And hopefully I'm not running into like something really egregious. I could just have like a Gift of Growth or something. Alright. And they should just pass priority and make me do something first. Alright, they do have a Wild Onslaught, so we predicted that nicely. And I do think our trades are going to happen the way we wanted them to. So I'm trading basically a Saproling. I'm trading 2 Saprolings for their board. Unless they have another green spell like a Gift of Growth or something. And then that puts me in the driver's seat. I can actually just like smash them back and like clock them for 2 turns or something like that. Plus they lose Llanowar Elves here. This is just fantastic, right? The kicked Onslaught on top of your Onslaught. See if they have another trick going on here. Alright, I'm glad we played around that onslaught. It seemed like they gave that away, I think, when they attacked with their Llanowar elves. Not that it was wrong to attack with Llanowar elves, but I had so many blockers, like, they just get another creature out of the deal and they're okay with it, plus the spider gets in there too. So, it made sense. It also seemed like the fact that they hesitated, they were thinking about whether to use the mana on Llanowar elves or to play another spell or something like that, and that to me signals that you have an expensive spell or you have a kicker spell that requires you to use a lot of mana. Right now, I'm just waiting to see if my opponent does anything here, because the Wild Onslaught has not resolved. They could have an Ancient Animus, might be what they're thinking about here. And that's the only spell I can think of. It's Ancient Animus or Gift of Growth, or possibly another Arbor Armament, but I don't see that happening. I probably should have held on to my Vicious Offer in this game, too, because Drudge Sentinel is just blanked very easily by a lot of my cards that I don't particularly care, but I'm suspecting if they cast something, it's Ancient Animus, take out another blocker, and then they get to keep one of their creatures around. But we'll see how it all pans out here. I'm probably going to pause until that happens, though, on account of this taking quite a while, so I'll be back in a moment. Alright, so let's see what just happened there. It looks like they did have an Ancient Animus, and they chose to kill one of the blockers in front of the Mammoth Spider. And what happened was they got to keep their Mammoth Spider. I lost one of my guys, but we're still basically, where we're at. We lost all of our Saprolings, though. So we lost a second Saproling, or we lost one to Ancient Animus, we lost one to the Gorger, and we lost the second one that was blocking Mammoth Spider. So now we get to go Omnivore. I think I'm just going to attack for 6 here. Next turn I can, well, even this turn I could go Omnivore, devour a creature, and then Ancient Animus to kill your spider. Which, I'm not in love with the idea of getting rid of any of my creatures, but if I can't get through them anyway, I might as well use the Elfim Druid for something. That, and honestly, I can just attack without Omnivore, they can't really block. So if they attack here, I'm blocking with Omnivore. Maybe I'm not, actually. If they attack, I'm just not blocking, now that I think about it. And game's not over yet. They have 2 cards in hand. I have a fairly mediocre fight spell, but I think we're kind of at parity here. Life totals are close. One big swing could do it. Another Mammoth Spider. Alright, you've got Mammoth Spiders for days. Can I draw an Urgoros? That would be sweet. Yeah, draw. Llanowar Elves not quite what we want here, so if I attack with Omnivore... Yeah, if I attack with Omnivore, I can do something like, and they block with the 4/6, I could go like, eat this, take out your Mammoth Spider, block that. I don't think I want to do that. I think I want to wait and see if I can draw a Saproling card here, or a Song of Freyalise. I have these options on defense too, so I'm not a huge fan of throwing away a bunch of creatures here if it's not going to deal lethal to the opponent. Plus, if they just play like a big flyer, I might need the Ancient Animus. Alright, they have an Omnivore of their own, which is quite good. Quite good. Again, I'm just going to kind of play defense here for a little while. I have the mana to cast anything that comes off the top of my deck. I have a couple cards that are kind of mirror breakers here. My flyers aren't particularly good, but if I draw like the Primordial Worm, that can at least attack through my opponent. I wonder if they're thinking about an Ancient Animus of their own. It's kind of what my opponent's deck is green-black. Not really a focus deck, but green-black stuff with some pump spells to get through, which is a fine deck. Green-black is probably one of the better decks in the format, even if you're not in on Saprolings. Like, you can see if I take away Yavimaya Saphir, this isn't even a Saproling deck here. Saproling Migration? Ooh, Fungal Plots is nice. Fungal Plots lets me turn Oh, never mind. It's not that nice. It does mean I can attack with the Omnivore, though. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't think I have enough mana to do that, so I'm just going to pass here. Okay, Llanowar Scout is not really a huge factor in this game. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and play out our land, since we have quite a bit to do with our mana. Hopefully the opponent draws some amount of lands to our 9 lands, so that we can play some spells, but we'll see. We'll see. Alright, Memorial, again, doesn't do too much here. It does let me go in with Omnivore a little bit harder since I can get back a creature. I do only have 7 lands left in the deck, so I'm about... Oh, I guess I have a land in the graveyard too, so I only have 6 lands. I have a 2 in 3 chance of drawing spells off the top here. Oh, what is my opponent doing? Dark Bargain. Alright, that was a good one for the opponent there. Now, do I try to kill something in response here? I don't think so. I think just going to let him Dark Bargain. This is a little dicey. The opponent draws like an Eviscerate or something. I guess it's not just over. I do have the Memorial. They put a forest in the graveyard. Alright. Alright, respectable, respectable. So they were almost empty-handed, now they're down. Up to 3 cards again. I feel like the combination of Ancient Animus plus Thallid Omnivore is pretty good here, though. This is where having a Slimefoot just, like, crushes the opponent. 7 mana? You got a kicker card? Steel Leaf Champion. Alright, that card's fine, I suppose. Does it just trade with Yavimaya Sapherd? What was all that mess about tapping for 7, though? Really, Mammoth Spider's coming in? And Thallid Omnivore, so we're going to fight over something here. Alright, so... I think I really like the idea of going block Thallid Omnivore on Omnivore. Have them eat some creatures. What do I do about this Mammoth Spider, though? I can definitely make my Omnivore bigger than their Omnivore, but I don't want to lose too many creatures in the process. So I kind of like the idea of doing something like this. And then they're going to go for like a pump spell on the spider. This isn't great for me. But I do have the Memorial too. Alright, I'm going to lock this in. We'll talk about it in a minute. Well, we want to see what the opponent's plan is here. Probably going to sack Llanowar Scout to the Omnivore. Alright, they're just okay with it, so I'm going to go ahead and tap this. Sacrifice Llanowar Scout. This is going to prompt them to sack a creature back. But the fact that I have Fungal Plots means that I can definitely do something. So now I go boom, boom, exile Llanowar Elves. And then sacrifice that Saproling. Make this a 5/5. See if they want to go even deeper on it. Go ahead and resolve that. Make my Saproling a 7/7. They're okay with it? Yeah, they don't want to lose any more creatures, huh? Alright. Now, I think I actually don't Fungal Plots Yavimaya Sapherd. I do something like Memorial to Folly it, because then it just gives me 2 bodies on board, and that body will still turn into a Saproling later on in the game. Soul Salvage back, Baloth Gorger, and Mammoth Spider. Alright, that's respectable. It's a fine play, fine play. So opponent's trying to outvalue me here. Whisper's good too. So we're gonna go get back Sapherd. 1, 2, 3. Play Sapherd. 1, 2, 3. Take 5 off Steel Leaf, I assume. Because I can play Whisper here. Yeah, I'm going to play Whisper. And just pass the turn now. So my opponent's got the Gorger plus another Mammoth Spider. They need an 8th land to kick Gorger, but that might not be their best bet. Yeah, Steel Leaf can come in. I'm fine with that. Go down to 7 here. Ooh, Rite of Belzenlock. That's annoying. That 6/6 is going to be very good. But they didn't play anything else. So now we might be able to do something here. Although they can just block everything, which is super annoying, right? So one option I have is to just make the Thallid very big. And then Ancient Animus fight this off. I'm not going to be able to win through that demon, though, I don't think. So I think I just sit tight now, let them get their demon, and just keep waiting until I draw something super relevant here. Urgaros, something along those lines. Yeah. This is not going how I want it to. The opponent is definitely outvaluing me. Those 0/1 clerics mean that I'm not going to be able to swing in like a huge attack. Something like Song of Freyalise is what I needed that turn before, but I want an answer to this 6/6. Now they're going to play a Baloth Gorger. I am going to eat 2 creatures here. So, ba-boom. Sure. And then let's go ahead and sack the Saproling token. And we will also sacrifice Yavimaya Sapherd. And we sack 2 creatures to eat the Steel Leaf Champion, but they do get to tap out for a 7/7 here. Yep, pretty good. Pretty good. I think we're at the point where Whisper's not going to be too great. Let's go ahead and just make another Saproling here. And non-land, Kaligo Skin Witch. Alright, that's respectable. Let's get the other Mammoth Spider out of your hand. Yeah, I have nothing to do with black mana either, so I want to go majority black. Skin Witch 'em. This is grindy. Stupid 6/6 demon, though. I have a plan for it. So we got another Gorger and another Mammoth Spider from them. Alright. Not really attacking here. I have a plan. I do have a plan. Let's see if they attack with Gorger, though. Kind of want them to eat one of their own creatures first. 7/7 coming in. So plan here is to make this a 7/7, have it fight the demon, and then trade it off for the Gorger. And then we're staring at a 3/5 versus my board and a bunch of clerics. Although, actually, they'll be staring at Whisper plus a 2/4. So let's go ahead and block. I'm going to hope that their last card isn't something super relevant. Alright, so now we go sack Saproling. Alright, resolve the ability. Go ahead and activate again. Pay 1, sacrifice Skin Witch, make it a 7/7. Ancient Animus, targeting your 6/6 demon. And hope that you have nothing in hand. So here, again, it's going to be Mammoth's Fighter and a bunch of 0/1s versus a 2/4 and a 2/2. Ugh, they have more to cast? Come on. The Eldest Reborn, of course. This is just unbelievable. I guess this Druid is going to have to do it for me. Alright, Primordial Worm is not the worst thing in the world. Eldest Reborn is just phenomenally annoying here. Unless I can find that Broken Bond, but oh, that's not even in my deck, is it? So what do they get back with that, though? Just another big blocker, I suppose. I guess I hold up Fungal Plots for it. If they try to animate something out of my graveyard, I can eat it. They have a bunch of creatures, too. God, this game is super close. At least I get to attack with my 7/6 now, right? That means they can attack me back with the spider, though. Let's go ahead and just... I'm going to keep a juicy target in the graveyard for him there with Whisper. Or, I'm sorry, with the Thallid Omnivore. Make some Saprolings. Ooh, Song of Freyalise is what I need to break this game open. I do think I can afford to attack with my Primordial Worm this turn. Just eat a 0/1. Might as well start slogging through those. Yep. And hopefully they target Thallid Omnivore with the Eldest Reborn. Do they have anything worth targeting? They have a Thallid Omnivore of their own, so if they're really smart, they'll just target their own Omnivore. I guess they could get Steel Leaf Champion here to just prevent me from attacking them without taking 5 back. Not too much else that does anything. Oh, they did it. Wow, they messed up by targeting mine. That was a bad move, my friend. Unless they did that intentionally, but I highly doubt it. They have a Thallid Omnivore in their graveyard. There's no reason for them to target mine. They're probably just not thinking that I can Fungal Plots them. And now I think with the Song of Freyalise, we're in pretty good shape to just win this. Unless they have a removal spell for Primordial Worm, but we'll see. Gonna go and Joust and Lance it up. Oh, I paid too much mana, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and put Joust and Lance on the Worm in case of wild onslaughts. Yep. And then Song of Freyalise given Trample next turn should do it. Didn't do the math on it, but we'll see. Let's go and just move this over to a Saproling. And pass. Opponent only has 1 target for Broken Bond. I don't think that's enough. And I don't have anything else to make Saprolings with, do I? Nope. Alright. And the cool thing is, I don't even have to worry about combat math. It's all the same amount of trample damage, so it doesn't matter how I attack. I guess it does if I want them to lose a spider, but they have 7 points of toughness. I have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So they're going to take 12 if they have nothing. Ooh, what a grindy match. That was all game 1, too. Yeah, I want to assign just 1 there. And shaboom. -2. Oh, they're doing something. What? Yeah, I would like to assign that damage. Oh, -4. So I miscounted. But we got there. Whoa, man, what a slogger. The opponent's on just a bunch of big creatures, which makes me want Gift of Growth here. Ancient Animus looks a little bit worse, and Dark Bargain, Feral Abomination, like, these are all cards I want. Divest is okay. They have Soul Salvage, so I'm a little bit less on the Divest. I don't like the Joustin' Lance here. I don't really like the Ancient Animus either. Don't really need Gift of Growth. Urgross number 2 seems pretty bad against multiple Mammoth Spiders. Grow from the Ashes is unnecessary, but I'll keep it. And then, yeah, let's just not bring in the second Dark Bargain. And then let's go ahead and, which one of these do we want the most? Divest or Gift of Growth? Gift of Growth is good against their combat tricks. Divest just gets a creature, so I think I'm just going to keep Divest. It's bad against Soul Salvage and the like, but it also just makes them use Soul Salvage on that creature in the first place. They're going to get 2 creatures regardless. Divest is still going to be a 1-for-1 no matter what they do after the fact, right? Very, very grindy match we got going on here. I could see just cutting like a Grow from the Ashes for a Dark Bargain or something like that, since the match is going to be grindy. Guardians of Koilos doesn't seem fantastic. Yeah, maybe another Dark Bargain's good. Is there anything else that's just super bad against them? Ancient Animus does not look good against them. But we also just don't have a lot of removal, so we kind of need to pick up what we've got. And Ancient Animus is fine with these 2 top-end cards. Alright, let's just keep the Dark Bargain out. Let's just keep it out. And hopefully we get the Nut Draw against them. Just make a bunch of Saprolings and Song of Freyalise them out before they can start kicking 7/7s and whatnot. These grindy matchups are not what we want to play against. We want to play against the control decks, I think. Because they usually have a lot of targeted removal, which is pretty poor against your multiple tokens and whatnot. This is the type of hand that I like. Wow, double song too. We might just be able to dump a hand here. We'll see. I'm going to keep this. No elf, no elf. Yes. Oh, that is good. That changes the game. Oh, they did land pass. So we're going to go... what do we do? Song of Freyalise this turn? No, let's go Saproling Migration. Or I could kick Grow from the Ashes for a mana. Nah. Alright, we're just going to go Saproling Migration here. And attack for 1 with the Elf. Next turn we'll go Song of Freyalise into probably Grow from the Ashes. That way we can cast Primordial Worm on turn 4. Not too concerned about that. They are going to need some removal for sure. Alright, that's pretty good too. So now we go cast this 1, 2. Grow from the Ashes, 1, 2, 3 would give us 1 land. Now let's just let that happen, cast Sap Herd. This gives me a ton of mana next turn. We're going to make red mana. Boom, Sap Herd. Then next turn maybe I can go like Primordial Worm plus Grow from the Ashes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gives me 2. No, that's not going to be enough. Alright, Baloth Gorger, not going to do it here. Oh, you are not attacking with that. Also, I'm not blocking if they attack with that. I'm not too concerned about it. I don't think I saw any Saproling Makers from the opponent. I did see an Omnivore, though. Ooh, Urgross as well. So, not drawing another land. I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That gives me 4 mana. I think I just want to play Primordial Worm or Urgoros. Primordial Worm seems like the best. And then we have Song of Freyalise to do it all over again. So I think I'm just going to... 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's not enough either. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Here comes a turn 4 Primordial Worm. What you gonna do about it? Didn't see any eviscerates or anything like that from the opponent, so they're gonna need something pretty good here, I think. I'm not blocking with anything. I get to jam with everything next turn and just follow up with a second Song of Freyalise, plus just empty out my hand. Turn 4 Primordial Worm, plus I've got more power on board off of 2 lands. Song of Freyalise is insane, and Land of War Elves did help us do that too. So let's see what you got. Do you have... Nope, just another Gorger. That's fine. So I'm probably going to Ancient Animus one of these down. Oh, Skin Witch, I could just cast that? Nah, we're not going to do all that. So let that resolve. I'm going to go ahead and Ancient Animus. Wow, that is broken. Yes, it is. Let's go boom, boom. The reason I'm doing this now is so that they don't just get 2 free blocks. And kaboom! Oh, can you imagine the opponent next turn when I play the second Song of Freyalise? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 damage coming in. This is a lethal attack. They're going down to 2. Holy crap. I don't think there's a single card that's gonna... I guess Saproling Migration, but even then they die. Jeez. So I just have a turn 6 win? Opponent says I should be ashamed of myself. That's great. Oh, they don't even know. Kind of want to reveal it to them. Oh, there's the second one. Just show it to him. I can't even All right, that was insane. Let's get a trophy with this deck. This deck feels great. If I can beat that grindy matchup, then I can beat anything, right? Except for Radiating Lightning, I can't beat that. But anyway, see y'all in match 3. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're back for match 3. We're in the finals, which is nice. We've got a pretty sketch hand, no mana ramp, not really a lot to do, but I still think it's a keep. We are on the play against a rock. Might have played that person before, I'm not sure. Not even the rock, just a rock. No elf? Yeah, no elf. All right, just drawing lands off the top is what I want to be doing right now. I guess Skin Witch. I'm not in love with Skin Witch, but we're going to cast it here. This hand goes pretty poorly if I don't draw a third land. Against white-green. White-green's a little bit go wide. Saproling Migration. All right. So against a little bit of a mirror match. Ooh, Song of Freyalise was nice there. I think I might just play it. If they kill this, I'm in bad shape. But if I don't, I can at least cast a 3-drop next turn. Yeah, I guess it's just not fantastic here, but I'm going to... Do I even cast it? It does guarantee I hit like an Envoy next turn or something like that. Play a Thallid Omnivore the turn after. I mean, otherwise I'm playing a piece of equipment that doesn't do anything or a Fungal Plots that doesn't do anything. So, yeah. I'm just going to play it out there. Oh man, if they kill the Caligo Skin Witch though, that's so bad. This hand could have used one of the Mana Dorks for sure. Or a Fungal Infection, which isn't actually in my deck. Good news is they don't really have a lot of removal in those colors that even deal with these, so. Alright, land off the top? No, Urgoros. This is not going to be a great Song of Freyalise. Not even drawing another land. Sure. I mean, it's still going to be fine. It is going to let me attack for 6 next turn. Alright, they have a Skitterbutt. Expect to see some splash mana. That's what I always see with Skitter Surveyor. Red. I'm predicting Mountain. Ah, Swamp. Ah, Swamp. Okay. That's a good one. Now I just want to hit lands, please. Man, my hand is not good. Alright, Vicious Offering is fine, but I still just can't cast these cards, which is super annoying. Just means I'm going to have to take multiple turns to get to a point where I can cast my spells. So I guess we just play Joustin' Lance and pass. Yeah, I got a big swing for 6 in. I have some creatures that can block what they're doing, but I don't feel good about my hand of uncastables versus their 7 mana. Knight of Grace, very strong here. Can't be Vicious Offeringed. Land, please. Ancient Animus. That's not terrible here. It's actually not great either. It does let Kligo Skinwitch kill Knight of Grace, which is ironic. I just can't make an attack here. I could technically make an attack, but it costs a lot of resources. Just not good to go for that attack, basically. What I mean is I can, like, Vicious Offer in something. Like, that's just dumb. I can attack with this. They probably block with Knight of Grace. I Vicious Offer and sack in my black permanent to kill one of their other creatures, and since I don't have a black permanent, this becomes a 2-1 and dies to the Llanowar Envoy. They're going to Vicious Offer in me. Cast down. So I think I have to do this now. Hopefully they don't untap and play the Eldest Reborn. Alright, we'll see. Or they could just, like, Blessed Light your Llanowar Envoy. This is the second game where I've been stuck on 2 lands, I think. Did that happen this game, or was that my last draft video? I don't remember, but... Guardians of Koilos. Alright. That's kind of cool, I suppose. Land. Another Song of Freyalise. Doesn't really do that much. This is obnoxious. I hate it. I have 17 lands in my deck. Having 2 of the top 13 cards be lands is why people say the shuffler doesn't work. I'm not going to jump on that train quite yet, but I get it. If I attack and they block, I can Vicious Offering to shrink it. If they put a Saproling in front too, that doesn't quite work for me. I think I'm just going to pass here and go for a block plus Vicious Offering. Song of Freyalise just seems unexceptional. It does let me cast a 4-drop next turn. I'm so far behind this game, it doesn't even really matter. Once they deal with this, I'm just going to lose basically on the spot. It'll take 3 or 4 turns, but let's just go for it. Yeah, and they have a trick here anyway. Alright, Fungal Infection. If I give this -2, it becomes a 2-2. Now I have to kick this to kill their guy now. It does fizzle their Fungal Infection, which is relevant. Oh, did I just kill my own? Yeah, alright, let's just go ahead and scoop. I swear I just targeted this, but I guess I messed up the clicks. I targeted that with the -2, not the Guardians, so we'll go ahead and go to the next game here. Guardians of Koilos. I guess I can bring in Broken Bond for the same reason I did last time. Feral Abomination seems better than Urgoros here again. If they're going to be playing a bunch of ground creatures, the Abomination's actually pretty decent here. And Joustin' Lance I just really don't like in this deck, to be honest. So what do I bring in instead? Bring in another Ancient Animus. It's much better against these smaller creatures. So yeah, let's go and make that cut. I'd probably lose that game even if I do kill their Guardians, but it's fine. It's fine. This is a much better hand. Get to start with a Memorial, Thallid, Grow from the Ashes, Whisper. So I at least have a curve going on here. Anything else I draw, any Thallid or Saproling makers are going to be quite good. You have to watch out for Fungal Infection. The card to not just callously run into. Now, where this hand goes very bad is if I just draw land, since Grow from the Ashes is going to hit lands for me anyway. I would like to draw a 3-drop next turn, like a Sap Herd or something like that, so that I can potentially kick Grow from the Ashes later on. Opponent doesn't have white mana here. Like right here, I'm not... come on. I am not going to attack because Fungal Infection gets me, so I'm just going to go ahead and cast Grow from the Ashes. Cast down, sure. And let's get a forest and pass. Alright, well, this hand looks pretty bad against a lot of things, but we've got, oh man. Alright, now I need a Dark Bargain very fast. Like, very fast. They just haven't answered a Whisper here, then I'm on 3 lands, and that's after casting a Grow from the Ashes. Ugh. Granted, I also have, you know, good top deck here, but we'll see. That was a settle the score on Whisper. Spore Swarm is a good one here. We'll go ahead and cast it. So Whisper getting exiled means it's not a target for Memorial, and they drew their planes as well. Danitha, come on, people. What? No, I did not F6. What is happening? Alright, well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, well, I should have some Saprolings on board, but apparently I don't. Look, you can't see the camera, but my hand is not on the keyboard. I am not currently touching the keyboard. I feel like I'm going to lose this game pretty easily now. Not that that would have made a difference. I can't attack or block anyway. Alright, plus Knight of Malice is just exceptionally good here. So I need to draw a Wild Onslaught would be good. Would be very good. Dreadshade is not terrible. Dreadshade is not the worst card I've ever seen. Wild Onslaught would probably shore up this game, I think, but if they just killed Dreadshade here, I'm still in the position where I'm taking 7 and not attacking. Looks like they're gonna kill it. Eviscerate, I assume. Could be another settle the score. Dang, opponents got good removal. Phyrexian Scriptures, alright. That one I'm fine with, because it is going to dump 2 of their own creatures here. They're going to put a 1/1 counter on Danitha, make it an artifact. I'm just going to lose these 2, though. I guess they might as well get the life here, right? So if that's the case... yeah, there's no reason not to just block since I'm going to lose this shade anyway. Ancient Animus would be a pretty good draw. Oh, it is worth noting that my graveyard gets exiled the turn after this goes off, so I have to use that Memorial then if I'm going to. Ooh, that's a good follow-up, but as it is right now, I'm just going to attack with Dreadshade. I assume it gets blocked by Night, and there's not really a reason to attack with these because of lifelink. So attack with Dreadshade, they block with the Night, just pump it once, and that just happens, right? Now, if they don't have much of a follow-up after Danitha, that's fine. I'm not sure why they went for the Phyrexian Scriptures there. I guess they want to chew through Dreadshade. It's worth noting I can cast Primordial Worm plus Dreadshade on my next turn. Oh, that's not true, because I'm going to lose a land here. This is good for the opponent, though. See if they can follow up with anything. I really want to get the Spore Crown Thallid back, but Dreadshade seems pretty good here, actually. They have something else, too. Saproling Migration. Alright, not as worried about that one. If I draw a land, I can actually cast both of these. Alright, so we're going to go Dreddy and a Primordial Worm. And now, drawing a removal spell would be preferable. So that wipes my graveyard, which is fine. The only thing that matters in there is the Thallid. They're on 2 cards and a lot of life and a lot of blockers. So I need to draw fairly well here. I've drawn 10 of my 17 lands, so got good odds to draw non-lands. And opponents used a good bit of removal here. Their deck seems solid, like very solid. None of their cards in their graveyard are... I mean, Mesa Unicorn's their worst card, and that's pretty good too, right? All right, what you got here? Another Settle the Score? Are you kidding me? Wow. Oh, they're attacking with the Saprolings too. I wonder what that means. I swear, if their last card is a pump spell, I'm going to be super salty. Did put me down to 9 that way. Dark Bargain's a good one. I might not be at a point where I can really cast it, but I'm going to cast it. Alright, so here I can get Song of Freyalise and a Swamp. Put the Forest in the graveyard, cast the Song. Keep up as much black mana as possible and hope they don't have a removal spell for Dreadshade. Very close to just dying, though. Removal spell does not kill me right away, but it puts me close enough that I'm basically dead. Opponent's on 30. Their deck is just all removal spells. Removal spells and valuable cards. So I need them to brick a little bit here. Or I need to draw another creature. Like my own Saproling Migration would be amazing. I already downed Spore Swarm, but anything that makes multiple bodies would just be my best draws here. Alright, they're going all in here. I wonder if they have a way to pump their saps. So we go block. Gotta pump it once, at least. Still feel like I'm not doing great this game. I'm going down to 4 here. Just gonna play, oh my god, what is this? Sergeant at Arms Kick? Come on, draw a Saproling Migration off the top, please. One time? What? Oh my god, a second Song of Freyalise. That just kills me, right? Yep, I'm just dead. It does nothing for me. Wow. Bad luck this game. Opponent, I mean, I guess not necessarily bad luck, but opponent has a good deck. That sucks. This should be a 3-0 deck for sure. Opponent's got it, though. Yep, we're just going to go ahead and block and die, and we'll have to take the 2-1, but I was feeling pretty good about this deck in the 3-0. Just, I guess, drew the cards in the wrong order. Not enough 1-drops those last couple games. Didn't draw the nut draws, but, I mean, we got beat fair and square. Opponent had a very good deck. Maybe risky mana, but who cares? It beat us, right? I don't know why they played the Phyrexian Scriptures. I guess it was just to ensure they could get through the Dreadshade, but I don't know. A little disappointed I lost that last game, but it's fair and square. Anyway, enough complaining about it. That's going to do it for this Dominaria draft. I hope you all enjoyed it. And like I said, there were some really tough decisions in the draft part between certain cards, and I am curious to hear what people think about those decisions and what they would have taken. But all that being said, my name's Timothy with Mana Rocks. Thanks for joining me here today, spending your time with me. More Dominaria drafts to come until the core set comes out. Maybe even some Vintage Q, we'll see. But thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.